Hey everybody, Merry Steam Sale. It's the Steam Winter Sale. It's happening right now. And if you're like me, you're always looking for places to spend your hard-earned dollars uh, in a budget-conscious way. And so that is why I'm not one of these guys who's like, it's such a deal. This game is normally $65 and now it's only $42. Like I don't play that. What I do, I start at 10 and there are not a lot of games in that category. But then as we get more budget conscious, there gets to be lots and lots of games. Under 5 is the biggest category. So there's some fantastic games in here. Some of them are very close to the $2 budget. Some of them are closer to the $5, but they are all fantastic. Here's the thing. Every game on this list I have personally vetted, and I thought long and hard about every single one of them and was like, okay, does this qualify? I went through my entire Steam library, which is hundreds of games. I mean, look. I've reviewed 257. I have 437 more. And by not putting, like, some of them that I have not reviewed that are normally uncategorized are categorized right now because I put them in here. So, yeah, I have a butt ton of games, a whole ton of games. And I went through every single one of them, finding the best deals. Let's not dilly, let's not dally. We got a lot of games to get to. So, here we go. First up, Aces of the Luftwaffe Squadron. This one, if you have played your Skyforce games and you're like, I need more like this, this is more like that. Yeah, it is. It's not too bullet hellish that you can't enjoy it, but it's enough bullet hellish that you can have a lot of fun, and it's really good. And the whole like World War II era plane thing, I love it. I'm reminded very much of like 1942, 1943, except there's just a lot more going on. But you can play this one couch co-op. It's super much fun, and it is only $3.59, 80% off. Annoin. This is an old school single screen platformer in an arcade style, and it is so well done and so charming. I just could look at this. Very positive. Of course it is, because this game is delightful. If you like your Burger Times and your Bubble Bobbles and games like that, old school arcade style action, this is exactly what this is. But with all of the benefits of modern hardware, so you don't have some of the limitations that you would have had on the old arcade machines. And so it's charming and wonderful. It's only $2.49. Apotheon. This is a very unique art style. This is very much, an ode to a Grecian urn. Hey there. Because it's done in the art style of a Grecian urn, except it is a Metroidvania action hack and slash style game with a rich story that is like absolutely one of the most unique things that you will play, hands down, no questions. It is $3.74, a unique gaming experience that is also wildly fun. Aqua Kitty. Aqua Kitty Milk Mine Defender. There's also an Astro Kitty. I don't know why it's not on my list anywhere. Do I not own it? I guess not. I own it on the Switch. But Aqua Kitty, this is very much like the old arcade game Defender. It's a shoot 'em up style game, and so it's basically, it's basically Defender. You have the Defender style map up here. There's just more power-ups, more going on. It's, I like it when an old school game gets upgraded in a wonderful way that both pays homage and also improves upon the gameplay with some of the things that you can do with modern hardware and modern just modern game design, everything that we've learned since the original came out. This is $2.09, is barely in this category. It's almost under $2. Really good game, very fun. Asura Vengeance Edition. This one is an action roguelike RPG-ish experience. Hack and slashy, very, very fun, very cool, great graphics, a lot of fun to play. Just very, very much fun. If you like hack and slash, that kind of stuff, I think it's more roguelite-ish than it is roguelike-ish, because you build up your character over time, and some of those effects are permanent. And so if you're having trouble getting through a level, you can build up your character. It's really cool. It's only $4.99. The Banner Saga. What a beautiful and amazing game. It's animated like a Don Bluth story, which is, very, very unique art style. Very the anti-Disney, which I appreciate more and more as the time goes on. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful RPG that is, turn-based, tactical, JRPG kind of a style, but set in medieval times. And it is what? Oh, that's the soundtrack. I was like, did I put it in the wrong category? No, it's $4.99. You can get $5.99. You can get the deluxe version. You can get a 4-pack for $14.99. Play like, I don't think you can play it cooperatively, but it's one of these ones. There are 3 parts to the story. It's really, really engaging, and your choices really matter. Like, the first time I started playing this, I lost a main character almost right away. And the game was like, well, he's dead. What are you going to do? He's dead. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. My choices actually matter, and they actually matter early on. They do. So really, really good stuff. Very fun game. Bastion. Oh my God, what a beautiful game. Bastion is this sort of post-apocalyptic world, but also, set in a high fantasy kind of a style. Super Giant Games, everything they make is amazing and fantastic. But yeah, your world is crumbling, and also the fun thing is that the narrator, who does a really good job, narrates the story as you do stuff. And so if you're like pointlessly smashing barrels, it'll be like, and instead of progressing forward, the hero stays to pointlessly smash barrels and things, hoping to find something, but there's nothing. At some points, the narrator will be making fun of you for the way that you're approaching the game, and at other times, it'll be like he'll give you clues and hints as to what you should be doing. It's really entertaining and engaging, and there's nothing else like it in the action RPG world. So yeah, definitely get Bastion. It is only $2.99, so an absolute value. Black Mesa. I picked this one up I picked this one up over the summer. This is a fan remake of the original HalfLife. And this just speaks to what makes Valve an interesting company, in that they will let you make stuff, and if it's good, they'll be like, can we sell that for money and you make money off of it? Because otherwise this would just be a free download on a web board somewhere. But it's not. It's like a fully realized thing that many people have put a Crowbar Collective. Yeah. Many people have put hours and hours of dedication into, and it shows. This is an absolute passion project, and it's fantastic. So yeah, $4.99 to be able to play the original Half-Life with updated graphics. Yes, please. Broforce. I love this game so much. Okay, so Broforce, you play as all these different bros, man. You got Rambro, and like all of the characters have their name is a pun on something bro or bro the Bros Campbell or whatever. Yeah, Bruce Lee. And every single one of the bros has a different weapon or ability, and they are wildly different. Very, very different, very unique weapon design and character design. And it's all pixel based. And whichever dude you get at the beginning of the level is randomized. And then as you unlock more bros, you get different guys with different abilities. And so it changes the way that you approach each level. And it's so much fun to play. And it's like you can play this one cooperatively. It's made for cooperative play, but I also beat it solo. Very much fun. It is $2.99, and I think it's a fantastic value. I love this game. Caladrius BLIZZY, which is how the girl says it in the thing. Now, you see a lot of girls with ripped off clothes and whatnot. That is the fan service aspect of the game. So if you care about that, it's there. But what this actually is a really cool bullet hell shooter with a decent story. And it's super much fun to play. And if your character gets shot up, her clothes are going to come off, like you do. Up to a point. I don't think there's actual nudity in this. I mean, again, there's probably a nude patch. I have not found it or looked for it. But yeah, this is a really, really cool bullet hell style shooter, and it's $3.99. Wait, let's see it actually do any of the shooting, like instead of just showing anime girls, because I promise it's much more than just anime girls. I mean, yes, anime girls. Oh, wow. Let's not get content matched, friend. Yeah, they barely show any of the shooting. They only show the anime girls. But yeah, no, you have these ships. They have different abilities that you unlock over time. It's a really cool shooter. And it is $3.99. Castle Crashers. Either you already own this and you love it, or you haven't played it yet. Those are the two positions that you can take with respect to Castle Crashers. So much fun to play cooperatively. This has been around since the days of the PS3, and it has been an absolute staple of the beat 'em up genre. Love this game. My son loves this game. It's just a ton of fun to play. Very cartoony, very funny, very silly sense of humor. But also like serious gameplay. Like it with how silly the game is, it also has some absolutely like crushingly brutal gameplay at times where you have some really serious boss battles that you have to take on. And yeah, there's a lot of poop humor and stuff. Like if you have a child's sense of humor, which I do, you will very much appreciate that in this game. So yeah, overwhelmingly positive with like tens of thousands of reviews because people love this. It is $2.99, but also you can buy I think you can buy a 4-pack, or can you? I don't know. Used to be able to. I bought a 4-pack for people. Everyone in my family owns this, I believe. It's a fantastic game, so you either own it and already love it or haven't played it yet. Cat Quest. Bought this game on a whim once and have not regretted. This is an action RPG that is also so cute, so full of so many stupid puns, but the gameplay mechanics are really, really interesting. Like all of the enemies telegraph their moves before they make them, and so like you have to evade, you have to find a way to not take damage or to minimize the amount of damage that you will take, and then counterattack when the time is right. So there's a lot of timing based hits and stuff, and a lot of like roll to evade. So it's really, really fun and really, really cute. It's a great experience. And also, wait, I didn't tell you how much it is. $3.89. Also on the list, Cat Quest 2, which is even more built for cooperative play because it introduces the dog character. And this one, you're going to help. You're leaving the capital. Oh man, so many cat-based puns. Anyway, this one $2.99. So also very good value, very fun to play. Celeste. I accidentally put this in the wrong category before. This is a very beloved game. It is a precision platformer. It is very difficult if you want to collect all the little strawberries, which I never want to do after the first few levels because I'm not amazing at this game. But it's also a beautiful story, and it's really, really, really well done. This is what indie gaming should be. This game taught us all what indie gaming could be, and it's a speedrunner's dream, but it's also, very importantly, not very many things that are speedrunners' dreams are also accessible to the masses. Looking at you, Super Meat Boy. But Celeste is, and it's $4.99, and I think it's amazing. Anyway, Child of Light, once again, has been with us since the PS3 days, but this is a beautiful, absolutely beautiful, atmospheric RPG that is all about a child learning to accept death and stuff. It's really... It's emotionally moving. It's very interesting. It's beautiful watercolor art style. Is $4.49, and it's amazing. And if you haven't played it yet, you should. Circle Empires. This is an RTS for people who don't normally play RTSs. I mean, granted, if you do play RTSs, you will also enjoy this because, you know, very few people who play RTSs have games that are of a, you know, pick 'em up, put 'em down variety. This is an RTS that doesn't take itself too seriously because you build on these little circles and then they're interconnected. And so you're, you know, fighting on certain, like you have, every circle has multiple exits and whatnot, and you just build your kingdom with these little circles that you can take over, and it's really, really cool. And you can decide like how large or how small of a world you want to play in, so you can adjust the gameplay to your comfort level. So even if you're someone who is like, you know, super, super into RTSs, like you'll probably still enjoy this because you can adapt and make it be what you want it to be. But if you don't play a lot of RTSs, but you're curious about this kind of game, to see if you might like this kind of thing, this is a great place to start. And it is $2.39, barely inside this category and not in a lesser one. Okay, this is, look at this girl. Her barely any clothing on this princess and her code whatsoever. Barely any clothing whatsoever. But here's the thing, is that this is a really, really great action RPG with, yes, a ton of fan service in it. We get it. But beyond the fan service, I just think it's an amazing, super fun game. And no, she never puts on very much in the way of clothing. And yes, it does seem stupid that she's going into full-on battle with, like, just basically pasties and a bikini bottom with, like, some gauntlets on and stuff. Yeah. It's kind of dumb that way, but you know, it's still super much fun. So if you like the fan service good, If you don't, then I don't know, maybe not this one for you, but like it's still super fun even if you're not buying it for the fan service. It is $2.99 and I think it's a great game. Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. This game is what is this community content? That doesn't look like it's related to this game at all. But this has full motion video cutscenes with actors that you have heard of. Tim Curry is in this game, and it's awesome. It's really, really fun, really awesome. It's a real-time strategy game, but it's so well done. It has a great sense of humor about itself, and it is $4.99. The entire Command and Conquer series is all of the Command and Conquer games are really good. Look, there's Tim Curry. You've seen him in things. You love him. He is great. Anyway, really, really great game. Same with Company of Heroes, except for not the part about the full motion video with actors that you have heard of. This one is much more serious, and it's one where when people die in the game, you kind of take it really personally. Yeah. Normally in an RTS, you just have a lot of grunts and they are expendable. In this one, you feel bad when one of your grunts dies because it's very realistic in the way it portrays that. And so you really, really take care of your units and care what happens to them. And you play in a variety of circumstances, World War II-ish battle type stuff. Really, really interesting and engaging real-time strategy game. $4.99, and for its sequel, Company of Heroes 2, which is very much more of the same, it is $4.99. So yeah, it's a really good value if you're into RTSs. Convoy. I am terrible at this game. Is pretty hard. It really is. Tactical roguelike is correct, and I am bad at the tactics of this game. But yeah, basically what you're doing is you're trying, your ship crashed on a deserted planet, and you're trying to get supplies in this like post-apocalyptic Mad Max-esque world. And it's really involved and engaging for being, top-down pixel art based. You got to upgrade your machines and keep them in proper running order, and you're still going to barely survive half the time. It's pretty brutally hard, but you can adapt and overcome if you're better at this than I am. 374. This is one where I played it and I didn't have a bad time, even though I kept dying again and again and again. And I recognized that a better gamer would enjoy it much more and die a lot less. So if that's you, Convoy is for you. Cosmic Star Heroine. Oh my God. Look, the world is full, absolutely chock full to the brim with RPGs that are like fan made, that are like, made with all of the, RPG Maker and whatnot. Zeboyd Games. These people get it. I own everything that they have ever put out that I can get my hands on, because everything that they have ever done shows that they understand the tropes of the role-playing genre and how to break them in creative ways, and how to make a really interesting, really engaging 16-bit RPG in the here and now without having it feel like, well, I've seen this before. You have not seen this before. It's so different, and it's got a whole cyberpunk sort of a feel. So if you're Shadowrun sort of person, you really should take a look at this one. So good, so highly recommended, and it is only $3.74. I would go out and buy every Zeboyd game you can get your hands on because they are all fantastic and they're all super cheap. They go on sale. There are other Zeboyd games on this list. Look forward to them. I don't know about this list specifically, but future lists. This might be the most expensive of their games that is on the list, but yeah, it's fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough. Costume Quest. This is a really cute, interesting RPG in which, like, you're little kids, but also pause on this screen real quick. You're little kids in costumes, but you also have the power of your imagination, and there are aliens who are kidnapping kids on Halloween night, and it's going unnoticed by the oddly absent adults, and the kids are out there fending for themselves, and you unlock different costumes and things, and different costumes have different abilities. And there are cool things like you even get like Heelys, and you can like scoot around on your Heelys and stuff. Is pretty awesome. But then, yeah, when you go into these turn-based battles, you are, instead of being a little kid in a costume, instead of being this little robot costume, you're like a giant freaking Gundam, or an actual awesome knight. Like, it's really, really cool how they did it. It's only $3, $2.99. Really fun game, really highly regarded. I cannot believe that this one is this cheap. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I hate rhythm games. Hate them. Absolutely hate them. Like, I do not have any amount of fun with them at all, most of the time. Unless it's something like this that is so absolutely interesting, where you are dungeon crawling, but you have to do it to the beat of the music, which is constantly pulsing the entire time. And at first, you're going to be like, I don't have to do this the whole time, do I? And eventually, you just sort of like fall into the pattern, and you're like, boom, 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 to the beat, boom, boom. Yes, and you can add your own music collection to this and play the game to music of your choosing. Yeah, so it's really, really cool in that regard, and it is only $2.99 right now, 80% off. This is very, very beloved, and you should definitely give it a chance. Darkest Dungeon. This is a divisive game. I'm not going to candy coat it, but it's very positive. Over 100,000 reviews, which means you probably heard of this game, and either own it and have feelings about it, or don't and wonder what feelings you might have about it. I put off buying this game for so long because of all the things I was hearing, where people had such a problem, because this is very roguelike. It's turn-based. It is like super interesting. The mechanics of the game, where your characters will be driven mad. They will lose their nerve, lose their ability to fight if they become too scared or too concerned. So you have to constantly be worrying about their mental state as well as their physical state. And it's punishingly hard. Absolutely punishingly hard, and you will die. And sometimes, because it is roguelike and it's procedurally generated, you might die for literally no good reason whatsoever. And that's what people have a hard time with. They're like, why did I die? I was playing the game correctly. And it's like, yeah, but like in real life, where you don't know where you're going to die and death might be around the corner at any point, very much so like this game. So, yeah, either accept the fact that you are going to die suddenly and unexpectedly as you move from one room where you just dominate the enemy into another room where, who knows, you might get absolutely crushed and destroyed. And at every point you have to manage, like, do we leave now? Do we go back now? Or do we keep going? And it's really interesting and engaging. It's a very unique game. But understand that there are some people who hate this game because of the permadeath and because of the steep degree of difficulty. Anyway, 374. Maybe you might like this. Maybe you might hate it. So definitely. Okay, this is the only game of this type that is on the list because this is under the category of naughty games. I have 96 naughty games, the vast majority of which I did not purchase for myself. But this one, yeah, see, I've played it all the way through. The Deep Space Waifu games, not just this one, but all of them, they are fantastical shooters with a hilarious sense of humor. And yes, you can get nude patches for these, because this is a game all about shooting the clothes off of these girls while you face down like bullet hellish situations and boss battles and stuff. It's really, really engaging and interesting, and it's also not appropriate for all ages, obviously. And also, like, definitely, yeah, like, because there are nude patches for it that you can get super easy or make yourself, apparently. Yeah, just know that going in. Don't buy this for a kid. If you are a kid, don't buy this without your parents knowing about it. Because it is an adult type game, but it's so much fun and it's so funny and it's a really good shooter. And the soundtrack, my God, I own all of the Deep Space Waifu games because the Russian hackers who took over my account for a while bought this game, and then I bought the rest of them and the soundtracks, because I was like, oh, this is actually good. This is actually good. So many of the adult type games, and I know because I have them in my library that I did not purchase, by the way. So many of them are like match 3 and her clothes will fall off. And you're like, ugh. But this one is actually it has a really good sense of humor about what it is as a game. And it is so very fun. I really, really enjoy it. It makes me want to play it again. And I feel weird recommending an adult game, but what are you going to do? It's a really good game. And it is only $2.49. And I think all the rest of them are on sale. Start with this one. See if you like it. If you are an adult, and you might. It's really good. Devious Dungeon 2. Devious Dungeon 1 is also on this list. But yeah, Devious Dungeon, these are action roguelike dungeon crawlery good times. It's so much fun. I just love all of the mechanics of this game. Everything is so super well done. The way that your weapons work, the way that the levels are put together procedurally that don't feel procedural, and the way in which, like, even coins hit the ground and bounce and whatnot. It's all very satisfying. It's such a satisfying little game, and it is only $3.19. Really, really good. Oh, yeah. Anyway, a really fun game that I loved. Disgaea. Oh my God. Who doesn't love Disgaea? This is one of the greatest strategy turn-based RPGs that you will ever find. How is this mixed? Fie on whoever is giving mixed reviews to this, because this is awesome. You know what? My guess is that it's people who have played it on other platforms who are like, well, it's not exactly Yeah, it changed strategy RPGs forever. Yeah, it's true. And it's not exact like the other versions that you may find elsewhere. And I'm sorry if that bothers you, it might bother you, but it's still the game and you can still play it and it still has all of the charm of the original, in my opinion. And I love it. I think it's a great way to play the game because, not everybody can go out and get an original copy of Disgaea. So why not pick it up for $3.99 on Steam and be able to play it? You know, that's how I feel. Not Disgaea, Dishonored, different disc game. This was the crown jewel of the PS3 era, but it still holds up so well today. So well. I don't like stealth games most of the time. I really don't. But this one is such a unique world and such a unique gameplay style that I found myself just absolutely lost in this game. And it's so cool the way that they mash up, like, the way that the world is created, because it's like steampunky, but also cyberpunky, but also like just, I don't know. It's hard to define, but it is the best first person stealth assassination game that I have ever played. And I don't like this kind of game most of the time. It is $2.49, and that is a great value. Don't Starve. Also, the other Don't Starve stuff, and probably also Don't Starve Together. I didn't look to see, but this is overwhelmingly positive. People love this game. It is exactly what it sounds like, has very cool, unique art style, and it's all about not starving. $2.49. You cannot go wrong. Donut County. Oh my God. This game is so cute. You're a little raccoon and you're destroying the world on accident by delivering holes when you should be delivering donuts, and you end up like sucking the entire town. It's kind of like Katamari Damacy, except for instead of building something out of trash, you are sucking up all the trash. It's really cool physics, super awesome. Love this game. Own it on multiple platforms. It is $3.89. Absolutely well worth your gaming dollar. Dragon Age. I feel like this entire series gets overlooked a lot of times because, Skyrim exists and Witcher 3 exists. If you've played those games and you're looking for another epic fantasy style game, Dragon Age. And this is the first one, Dragon Age Origins. $4.79. It's really, really good, really well done, very cool, epic fantasy type stuff. And if you're into that kind of thing, you could do much worse than this game. It's very fun and very interesting. DuckTales Remastered. Oh, remember when this one disappeared for a little bit because of disputes with Disney and you couldn't get it, and prices were skyrocketing on this game? Yeah. That's why I own a physical copy of it for the Wii U. But if you don't own a physical copy for the Wii U, why not buy it on Steam? This is a beautiful, beautiful game. It's a remake of a classic game because, whoever was making those Disney games, Capcom? Yeah, that's right. Back in the day, did a fantastic job. And DuckTales is just one of those games that is so beloved, and the whole using your cane to bounce on enemies and stuff. It's so unique, so fun. Love it. It's a beautiful remake. You cannot find remakes as good as this every day. Like, they are few and far between, and this one is so great. It is $3.74. Dust, an Elysian Tale. This one is really, really good action Metroidvania RPG-ish type elements. Really, really good. Really well done. It's an indie game, and the one thing I will say about it is that at points you can really feel the indie nature of it, where you're like, okay, this doesn't quite feel big budget, you know? There are places where the charm of the game wins out always, but like there are aspects of the game where you can feel that, like, oh, that might be different if they had a lot of money to throw at the problem. Anyway, regardless, still, it's a very, very good game. And if you like Metroidvanias, this is a great one to have. It's only $4.94. Guacamelee. Oh my God, why don't more people love this game? This game is so good. It is so good. Speaking of Metroidvanias, this one is action beat 'em up with like a lot of really crazy combo action. You got to learn a lot of different type of combos, but it's in this Mexican luchador style. It's really, really interesting. You've never played a game quite like this before, unless you've played this before or its sequel. But yeah, it is very much its own thing. So cool, so fun, so awesome. You get turned into a chicken partway through. It's such a great game, and I love it. I love it. And it is $3.74. Why not give it a shot? It's amazing. Like, not enough people. 2,000. This should have 100,000 people all saying, my God, this game is good, because it is. It really is. Hero Siege. Hero Siege is really, really good action, roguelike, hackety, slashety, moving through 16-bit pixelated type world and, you know, collecting power-ups and going nutso bananas on your enemies. It gets very frantic and crazy the more you go along. But yeah, it's really, really cool. And it does a good job of balancing itself and teaching you how to be good at the game as you move along. Because when you look at gameplay footage, you're like, I'll never be that good at it. No, it'll help you. It'll help you to become that good at it. So really, really good game. $2.37. Horizon Chase Turbo. This is my favorite racing game ever, of all time. I love it. I love the graphics. I love the gameplay. I love the cars, the way they handle, the unlockables, the many tracks, the way that the replay value in collecting every single thing that you can collect. I really have a lot of fun with this, and you can play it competitively against your friends. Super, super fun. Also fairly hard in later stages, but really, really good. And they keep dropping updates on it all the time of like, oh, here's a bunch of new tracks that you don't have to get as DLC. We're just giving them to you. Anyway, $3.99. Really, really great game. I love it. Iron Cryptical. I just reviewed Iron Fistical. Iron Cryptical is the updated version of that same game. So you get the same, like, arena-based twin stick. It's basically Berserk or Robotron meets Gauntlet, which is really, really cool. It's a great idea. And yeah, you just go into this arena and you just blast your way through hordes of zombies and Frankensteins and skeletons and bats and all kinds of stuff. And there are a ton of pickups. There are a ton of power-ups. And You choose the way that you move through the levels and through the world. It's really, really interesting and really engaging. And also, it's roguelite. So you can upgrade your character over time if you're having trouble with the levels. So really, really good stuff. Highly recommended. I love these games. It is only $2.99. Just Cause 3. The Just Cause games are known for trying to out GTA. They looked at Grand Theft Auto and what they were doing, and they were like, I'd do you one better. I'm going to add in parachutes and grappling hooks and all sorts of crazy physics nonsense where you can... Basically what these games are is literally an action movie that you can play. And every stupid action movie, like, oh, you couldn't do that in real life, you can do in this game. And Just Cause 3 is the most like that of all the Just Cause games. And so, yeah, if you want to grapple onto a helicopter and zip line your way up or zip line your way down from a helicopter or backflip off of a car that got, or wingsuit or whatever, like, it's so crazy the things that you can do with this game. And yes, you can play it straight through, do all the missions, overthrow governments, all the things. Or, alternately, you can just go nutso bananas and fly around in a wingsuit and just shoot randos and, like, collect cool vehicles and things that you can do awesome action movie stuff with. So, yeah. Just play it. It's really fun. And it is $2.99. I cannot believe how cheap these games are every Steam sale. Knights of Pen and Paper. This is a really cool one. If you play D&D, you should get this game because this is an RPG where it's just a bunch of guys getting together to play D&D, but everything that they encounter in their D&D session appears behind you. So you're all sitting at the table, you have a DM, and then the things that you're fighting appear behind you. And you literally, your whole table moves through the world and you build up your characters. And it's a whole thing. It's got a great sense of humor, very fun, very funny. And it is $2.49. Okay, La Mulana. This is another great, if you like Spelunky and you, well, this isn't exactly like Spelunky. It is not roguelike, but it is the same sort of like Indiana Jones type of character, moving through, picking things up, trying to make a way through the level. Very difficult platforming. Except, yeah, this one is not procedurally generated. It's Metroidvania, so there's a lot of unlocking new abilities and then going into new areas that you couldn't access before. Really, really well done. And this one is $3.74. Mass Effect 2. This game is in the running for my favorite game of all time. Because why? Because this is a massively massive... space-based RPG, science fiction-y, that's also a shooter, that's also story-driven, that also every single minute choice that you make in conversation or in the gameplay, in the approaches that you take to different missions, all of it matters. All of it. Which is why so many people were mad at Mass Effect 3 and Mass Effect Andromeda, is because Mass Effect 2 absolutely perfected the art of making your choices matter and making deep, involved gameplay with characters that you're never going to forget. And you will never forget what it's like being in the situation where you have to choose and you're like, I don't know. No matter what I choose, some of these people are going to die. Like, it puts you in some tough spots, and it's amazing. It's an experience as much as it is a game, and it is $4.99. Great deal. They also remastered all of these games, and you can buy the remastered versions. They are considerably more expensive. But yeah, feel about that however you like. This game I made fun of because, like, it is, you get a lot of, like, this anime girl with hand on her boob for some reason. Who knows why she's always massaging her own breasts in her skin-tight suit? It's fan service, and you just deal with it. But beyond that, this is a really cool action adventure platforming pixel based like shooty. It's kind of like a beat 'em up ish. uh, it's kind of a lot of things, but what it ultimately is, it's an action adventure platformy type game that's really fun. And if you don't mind anime girls fondling their own breasts all the time, you might enjoy this. So, yeah. Oh, how much is it? Good question, dear friend. It is $3.74. Moonlighter. I can't believe this one is this cheap. Moonlighter is an incredible game in which you delve into this dungeon to get loot that you can sell in your store. And so, yeah, you're moonlighting as an adventurer and daytiming as a dude who runs a store, and you have to balance both sides of your life. And, as you acquire better weapons, you have to make the choice. Do I sell this for money, or do I keep it so that I can go even farther into the dungeon and get more cool loot? It's a really interesting game, and you really have to balance stuff. And it is roguelite, so you upgrade your character over time. If things are getting too difficult, there are always upgrades and always things to learn from each successive death and each successive playthrough. So, yeah, really fun game. Can't believe it's this cheap. It is only $3.99. Neurovoider. This is another... Like, the world is dominated by roguelikes right now. This one is a sci-fi type one, and it's really interesting. Yeah, you're a brain in a jar that picks up cybernetic attachments and whatnot, and then you go through this procedurally generated world and just deal destruction upon your enemies. It's super cool idea, super fun, and yeah, endless combinations is right. Like there are so many upgrades and things that you can get. Very cool little game, and it is $3.49. Oh my God, we're almost at an hour. I better get through this. I can see the end. Okay, we're gonna zip through these last several. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds is a 2D fighting game. Anime girls, chibi kind of an art style. So yeah, if you like chibi anime girls, in a like beat 'em up, 2D side-scrolling kind of a deal, then yeah, that's what this is, and that's how it plays, and it's really fun. Yeah, really good stuff. So enjoy. Oh, how much? Again, this guy forgetting $2.99. Really fun game. Pikuniku, very cute little game. It's action exploration. It's got a very casual vibe, but like just the way that your dude moves through the world is endearing and charming and amazing. And it is $3.24. So yeah, if you want to play something a little bit different, that's a little more casual, doesn't take itself too seriously, Pikuniku is a really good game. The Ramp. If you have ever wanted a skating game, a skateboarding game that is just the essentials, because this has perfect, spot on, absolutely 100% amazing gameplay. And it's really, there are just three things that you can do. You can grind, you can spin, and you can grab. And that's pretty much it. And everything else is just physics and hitting gaps and pulling tricks with combinations of spinning and grinding and grabbing. And, high score attacks and everything. But mostly it's just a chill little sandbox to do skateboarding in. So if you've ever played all of the Tony Hawks and you're like, I wish I could just sort of jam out a little bit. That's what this is. That's all this is. The creator of this game made it for himself and was like, this is what I want in a skating game, this and no more. And so that's all it is. And it's really a beautiful little game, and it is $2.99, a really great value. Rogue Legacy, this is been around for a long time, but people love this game because, what happens is that, is roguelike, but every time you die, your next character is the son of, is the child of the character who came before. And they will inherit unique qualities and traits based on who their parent was and how their parent did. And so, each of them will have different weaknesses and different strengths, and that will be based on how you played before. And so it's really, really cool. It's a great idea, and it's $2.99. Getting there, people. Getting there. Roof Rage. This is a 2D fighting game that is, pixel-based, but with these fairly simple pixels, they have created some very unique and memorable characters. So if you like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, those type of games, Smash Bros., this is right up that alley. If you play fighting games at all, 2D fighting, this is just a beautiful, beautiful 2D fighting game with a lot of unlockable characters. It's very, very fun. A lot of different levels to play in. My son and I play this. We have beaten each other up a lot in this game. Very fun. And it is $2.24. Absolutely worth it. Skullgirls, another 2D fighting game. This one with anime girls, all with their own unique abilities and whatnot. Yes, there is fan service in this game, but more importantly, there is excellent gameplay. Some of the most unique game mechanics you will ever see in a 2D fighting game. So really good, and it's only $2.49. It's 90% off. Skyforce Anniversary and Skyforce Reloaded. These are my two favorite shooters of all time. That's it. That's all you need to know. They are my two favorite shooters of all time. I love shooters. They are $2.49 each. You can buy both of them for $5 total. And they are amazing. The replay value on these games so high. I have poured hours and hours and hours into these games. I own them on the PS Vita. I own them on the Switch. I own them on PC because I want to play them on whatever I'm playing games on. I want these games on whatever console I've got. So that's why I own them on everything that I have. Good stuff. Really, really good. Must play. Sleeping Dogs. Reviewed this one. Didn't know what to make of it. This is obviously 2014 is getting a little long in the tooth, but it's a Square Enix game, and they make great games. This is very much like Yakuza, those type of games, because it is very much gang warfare in Japan. And so it's Grand Theft Auto meets, Japanese gangs and stuff. Very, very cool. Good graphics, good gameplay, and it is currently $2.99, a really good value. Slime Rancher. Slime Rancher 2 is out now, and so Slime Rancher 1 is only $4.99. This is a very unique indie game in which you are ranching slimes. It's hard to say. It's, yeah. It is what the name implies. There's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of world building. There's a lot of like cool things that you can do with this game. I have not played it as much as my children, but they love it. So yeah, really good game. Spelunky. Of course we put Spelunky on the list. So beloved is this game, and it's only $3.74. This is the action roguelike that everybody has to play and everybody has to own because it's important, because it's a great game, and you should. It's good. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is another one where like, oh my god, didn't this used to be like $60 not that long ago? Yeah, it did used to be $60 not that long ago. Highly regarded. So many of my friends have played this game and have told me that it's amazing. I haven't played it yet. I bought it in the summer and I haven't had a chance to play it, but it's only $4.79. I paid a lot more than that when I bought it in the summer. So even just since then, it's got cheaper. SteamWorld Dig 2, if you've played the original SteamWorld, which you should have, great indie game, great, absolute awesome Metroidvania, adventure platformer. You know, it's like if Dig Dug were also a Metroidvania. That's what these games are like. So good, so engaging. What a great world, and this is $4.99. SteamWorld Heist is in the same world as SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Dig 2, except for this one is turn-based and strategy RPG-ish. So really, really interesting. Yeah, you get to line up some crazy shots on your enemy. There's a lot of like, you know, ricochet banking and figuring out, you know, the best weapon and the best angle and the best, you know, really, really cool stuff, but very different gameplay. Like, it's not every game that can adapt itself in a million different ways. And the SteamWorld games, like, they can do no wrong. And $2.24 for a really interesting gameplay experience. Absolutely worth it. Terraria. I don't personally love Terraria, but everyone else in my family does. I don't know what it is about this one. Never jibed with me for whatever reason, but it's overwhelmingly positive with 800,000 positive reviews, and it's only $4.99. So buy it if you haven't. Torchlight and Torchlight 2. These are the best Diablo-like action RPGs in the world. And they have a very active modding community, and the developer encourages the modding community and engages the modding community. And so it's a really, really beautiful relationship between the fans of the game and the developers of the game. One of the best you'll ever see. And yeah, $3.74 is an insane value. And Torchlight 2, I love Torchlight 1 more than Torchlight 2, but I also love Torchlight 2. My very first playthrough, I got the Minecraft level. There is a hidden Minecraft level that only spawns like in one out of every... It's not insanely rare, but it's like 1 in 6 playthroughs or something like that. But yeah, I got it on my very first try, and so I walk into this cave and there's a creeper in it, and my mind was just blown. And then you get a piece of Minecraft loot. I got a diamond Minecraft sword. A lot of people be getting wooden Minecraft swords and stuff. Mine was diamond, so I actually could use it, and did use it, and that's what I beat the game with. it was awesome. I love it. I love the Torchlight games. Did I say it's 374? Yeah. Torchlight and Torchlight 2, amazing. Last on the list, but certainly not least, Trine. Everybody needs to play some Trine. Trine 2, Trine 3, Trine 4, all the Trines. But Trine 1, if you haven't played it yet, is 374. This is a puzzle platformer in which you have three different characters. You have a thief, a knight, and a mage. And they all have unique abilities, and you need all of their abilities to make it through the puzzles in every level. And it's so interesting the way that the levels are designed. It's just a beautiful, beautiful game and very, very fun. And if you're tired of, RPG-ish games where it's just kill this guy, hackety slashety, and not enough figure this world out, get involved in this world and see how it works. If you haven't done enough of that type of gameplay, this is what you need. You can play it cooperatively, or you can play it solo, where you're just switching back and forth between the characters. Very engaging, very good, and it is only $3.74. Anyway, an hour and 5 minutes. My God, who's going to watch this? Anyway, hopefully you did, and hopefully you enjoyed it, whoever you are. Let me know if you made it this far. Nobody ever makes it this far. But let me know if you did. Absolutely. I'm not that guy who's always trying to get comments, but I'm just curious if people listen to the very end. If you did, good on you. And we'll see you in the next one, which will hopefully be a lot shorter. Okay, bye.